Hello. Today, not one, but two portraits have been inspired by a 400-year-old painting, Vermeer's The Girl with a Pearl Earring.
Let's just hope the artists have what it takes to create a modern masterpiece.
Well, they have 4 hours to prove themselves. It's Portrait Artist of the Year.
Last week, fine art student Karen Golea dazzled the judges with her gem of a portrait of astronaut Helen Sharman.
I'm over the moon. I'm so happy.
Today, we are joined by 9 more talented artists.
My pencil, I've lost it. And it's the pencil I need for drawing my picture.
At stake is a £10,000 commission to paint actor and broadcaster Sir Lenny Henry for the National Portrait Gallery in London.
But first, they must impress our judges. Award-winning artist Tai-Shan Schierenberg, independent curator Kathleen Soriano, and art historian Kate Bryan.
We've not even really begun the portrait yet, so actually I think everybody in that section needs to get their skates on.
So who has got what it takes to claim the 5th spot in the semi-final? And be one step closer to becoming the next Portrait Artist of the Year.
What can I do to give you a push?
Tell me it'll be all right and leave.
It's gonna be all right. I'm off. Today's cohort of artists are Fauzi Ibrahim, a retired engineer based in Halifax. Binny Matthews, a professional artist living in Dorset. William Savage, a trainee solicitor in Essex. And Rosie Phillips from Norfolk, who recently quit her job as a barista to pursue a career as an artist.
I'm hoping today will be like a really good chance to not have the time to be a perfectionist.
Competing alongside them are Rob Ware, an artist and salsa dance enthusiast from London, Samantha Messias, a hyper-realist artist from Liverpool, Sarah Gregory, a former art teacher living in Watford, Harriet Merry, a collage artist based in Staffordshire, and Nina Rominska, who lives in Ireland and works as a freelance designer.
The mind is telling me, like, Nina, you like painting, so it should be fun, but then the body is probably in a fight or flight mode and wants to run away because it's a new situation.
As the artists prepare for the day ahead, the judges take a closer look at their submissions.
So, judges, you've seen these submitted in digital form. Here they are in real life. I feel you have to go very close to see that it's collage, and once you do, you realise how clever it is.
There is a painterliness to it which obscures the fact that it actually is cut-out paper.
It will be interesting to see how she fares today. Now, this is more conventional, but also with its own individuality.
The fabric's great, the still life behind on the wall is great, so you've got a painting within a painting.
And of course, the crop is really interesting. Part of me wants to know, why isn't it a full rectangle? Why am I not seeing more of the body? It's been very cleverly composed.
A very good choice to leave so much unfinished. If the whole thing was finished, it would be a bit straight. Whereas here, leaving a few casters of the chair unfinished, you know where everything is without actually it being spelt out to you.
Right, here we are, small but perfectly formed.
This does feel like it's from another era.
Yeah, it's sort of straight after the war. It's all a bit dour. What I think is amazing is the way that the right-hand side of the face falls away. So the eye is held there quite beautifully in that socket. It's a great little thing.
Here's a referencing to favourite artists.
I love the background images, but I find them a little bit of a distraction from the main head.
But actually, there's something successful about the head being projected forward and the way that we read the eyes.
There is indeed another reference here.
Yeah, the beard with the pearl earring. This is a fabulous little painting.
It's made by the blue, I think.
Yes, in that kind of Renaissance blue that accentuates the brush marks. There's a crispness to the making of the image, and that works very well.
No colour in this one, but a lot of fine work.
The size lets you see all the textures very clearly, so that incredible hair, which I can't even work out how it's been done.
Now, a great spread of fabulous trousers.
It's a great contemporary image. I mean, we all recognise it. It's the tube. There's a lot of dedication to conjure this image, just the amount of detail that's in it.
I have a sense that she's falling off the seat here.
It's jolly. No one's sitting up straight here.
And finally, a very tender piece.
Yeah, it is so lovely. It's a very intimate scene.
The colour tones are absolutely beautiful, but there's also a slight off-kilter about it, which gives it another tension. I love everything about it, actually.
Well, there we are, a whole series of people in different moods. I wonder how they'll be when we meet up with them today.
Ready to make a start, all our artists need now are their sitters.
Star of TV, radio, and the UK rap scene, your sitter is not only a musician, but he's also a brilliant chef. Please give a big welcome to Big Zoo.
Hello. How are you? All right?
Hello. How are you?
Man, I'm
Have
good.
a seat. This is your
Straight
home.
away? Yeah.
It's all about sitting down today. Oh, look at that. That's a good noise.
Yeah, man, it's nice and comfy.
Your hair game is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, maybe just got a haircut right now. I was trying to give you lot sharp lines.
Now, every sitter, we ask to bring in an object that means something to them, but I can't see.
Mine is on my wrist.
Ah.
It's a bracelet from my late granddad. He gave it to my dad, and it still looks very fresh.
It looks very fresh. Right, artists, you got a great sitter.
Excellent.
Good luck, everybody. Thanks very much.
We just chill now like friends. Hi, we're friends now.
Artists, no stranger to secrets, your sitter is the former Director General of MI5 and now successful thriller writer. It's Dame Stella Rimington. Come and sit here, Stella. Now, what is remarkable about your reign, apart from the fact that you're a woman doing that job, is that you made your name public. Didn't that put you at risk?
It did, actually, but it was a choice of openness, and I thought it was the right time to be more open.
So when you retired and you became a writer of thrillers, did you use a lot of the stuff that you knew?
Not the detail, but the methodology, I suppose, yes, I did use.
And you've really taken to it. I mean, you publish about one a year. Do you ever tire?
No, I don't tire, because it's fun.
What is clearly fun is the puppet that you brought with us.
Yes, that's the ballerina, made by my daughter.
It's very eye-catching. Now, artists, I'm sure you're going to enjoy your day spent with Dame Stella. Whatever questions you ask, she has signed the Official Secrets Act.
As a contemporary composer, producer, and pianist, your sitter today is a global star of modern classical music. Please welcome Alexis French. Hello, have a seat.
Thank you.
Now, obviously, music is a way of expressing yourself that perhaps bypasses the written or spoken word, as is art.
Yes.
Is art a language you speak?
I love art. I absolutely do.
You've brought some music along with you.
I have brought some music, shamelessly, I should say, because
Hey, why not?
So this is a piece that's particularly important to me and my daughter. There's a piece I wrote for her.
Well, I mean, if that doesn't spark your imagination, I don't know what does.
Artists, it's time to focus. You have 4 hours to complete your portrait. Your time starts now.
Do you want me to do an expression? Should I be like confused, like?
Can you put your fingers behind the arm so you can see the bracelets? Yeah, that's it. Super.
Have you got a spot where you're looking?
Yeah, I'm looking at the side of the door.
Could you look at me but keep your head where it was? Yeah.
Do I look chilled?
You look real chill.
Brilliant.
Maybe sort of just tilt your head a bit more.
The start of a portrait takes many forms. While some artists begin with a grid, others start with a basic outline. And one artist today has opted to do something different altogether.
I'm just making a little colour study before starting on a big canvas to know which colours to use. I spent a little bit of time planning things and just staying in the zone and just relaxing and ignoring everybody else.
Originally from Poland, professional artist Nina Ruminska relocated to Ireland after falling in love with its rainy climate. Her self-portrait in oils took 3 days to paint and shows how vulnerable she felt when battling the flu.
Nina, your submission had this fantastic background because you had these kind of like double shadows and it felt like claustrophobic but also intimate. Are you trying to achieve some of those kind of compositional devices in this work?
Yes, the most interesting aspects of art for me is composition. I'm really drawn to paintings where the composition is a little bit unusual, things are a little bit off, and that usually just gives a kind of specific emotion.
You just give that kind of like evocative
feeling.
feeling.
Yeah, it could be like a little bit of pressure, a little bit of release.
Oh, I love it, I love it.
Rosie, how are you finding Big Zoo as a sitter?
Yeah, really fun, actually. When he first came on, you could get a sense that he's definitely
big
really fun.
personality.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody that's not taking themselves too seriously and isn't very solemn.
21-year-old Rosie Phillips is our youngest competitor today. Her self-portrait in oils and graphite took 40 hours and celebrates the joy of a night out.
One of the things I really loved about your self-portrait was the foreshortening and that sort of lovely long leg. I mean, Big Zoo's doing the same thing for you here with those wonderful legs, but I can see you've decided to stick with the upper section of the body.
Yeah, I love doing full body portraits, but I just wanted to make sure that I can fit in as much detail as possible, because I think it takes a lot of measuring and you have to really make sure you're getting it right with foreshortening.
You've certainly got
there's
quite a pose there, haven't you? Sort of completely relaxed.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Are you drawing there, Harriet?
Yeah, I'm going to just put some shapes in. And I've got loads of colours. So that is ink
Yeah.
that I've kind of splashed onto the paper. And I'm going to cut them up and make a collage with them. I'm just trying to draw you at the moment.
So you're kind of like tripling the process almost, aren't you? Because in order to put paint on, you've got to prepare it in advance.
The ink bit is quite quick if I get it right. I'm not sure about them at the moment.
Right.
It's not a good thing to do if you're indecisive, which I am.
Former picture editor Harriet Merry took 6 hours to complete her submission. It's her first ever collage self-portrait and was created while Harriet's husband watched the Euros, much to her disapproval. So Harriet, we're going to be collaging today.
Yeah, I don't know how to do anything else.
Is that what it is? What is it about collage you like, apart from the fact you can't do anything else?
So I really like using ink because I really like the kind of mistakes that you make, the freedom that you have, but then doing it on the paper, I can be quite controlled with collage.
I like the fact you're in the no man's land between the sitter and the artist.
Yeah, or limbo.
In limbo. You can't be in limbo all day.
Oh, my God.
At some point, things are going to have to be stuck to that piece of paper.
Yes.
I'm trying to divide the canvas up because it's quite big. I paint in quite a geometric way, and so this is in a way like an underlying scaffolding. It's quite good just to get that down, and then you can relax.
Professional artist Binny Matthews only applied to the show after much encouragement from her sons. Her self-portrait in oils took 3 hours, and the splash of green represents her unwillingness to fade into the background at her age.
Binny, you've gone really big,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
lovely. I love it. You're sort of all-encompassing Stella's huge character.
I think if I was being tactical, I would be doing just a straight head. But I actually believe portraits are more than the head. I really think that it's got to have those kind of difficulties inherent in it, so that I can conquer that and I can just push it a little bit.
OK, well, you know, I don't think you're in trouble so far, so fingers crossed it keeps on this positive path.
Thank you.
The artists are nearing the end of their first hour.
I want to give myself as much time as possible, and I think I've just found a really, really good composition, and I'm just going to run with that.
I'm still blocking in the big colours and I'm trying to tighten the drawing. And at the moment, I think the sitter is nice and relaxed, which makes me relaxed as well.
I need a base shape to work on top of. I've tried face in about 3 different colours, but I'm just finding myself quite stressed and quite incapable of deciding.
Our artists have been studying rapper Big Zoo, classical musician Alexis French, and former Director General of MI5, Dame Stella Rimington, for just over an hour.
I think it's a very difficult task
Yeah.
to try and do it in 4 hours.
Oh, I know. My main task is to get you on the paper.
Yeah.
And then hopefully get a bit of the ballerina. I want the ballerina.
And see what else you've got time for.
Yeah, exactly. I'm quite pleased with the eyes. Your eyes look lovely.
Samantha Messias worked in retail before becoming a full-time artist in 2020. Her self-portrait in pencil took 80 hours to complete and helped her process her grief after a loss.
Samantha, you're starting with the eye. Is that what you always do?
Not necessarily, no. I start from the bottom left-hand corner of the artwork and work the way up. A lot of people have called me like the human printer. But with this one, the most important part is to get the eyes done right.
Now, this is black and white. Your
Yes.
submission is black and white.
Yes.
There is loads of colour here.
Yes.
There's loads of colour here.
Yes.
So what's going on?
Black and white, it's the simplicity of it all. I find it's very powerful. I have done coloured pencil drawings before, but there's something that keeps pulling me back to black and white.
I think it's called talent.
William, I've been watching you work. It's a very physical thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, I'm constantly reminding myself to step back.
Yeah.
And also, when you're working with this sort of physical material, it's moving it around.
It's fighting for the image, isn't it?
Yes.
William Savage worked in finance before the global financial crisis of 2008 prompted him to retrain as a solicitor and portrait painter. His submission in oils took 4 hours and experiments with a cropped format.
In your self-portrait, your bandwidth of your tones are very narrow. Are you always trying to get them as close as possible?
I do try, especially the darks, to try and attenuate the darks. And part of the reason for that is that it gives a greater opportunity for colour in the shadows.
Now, as a sitter, Big Zoo is very lively. Is it difficult when the model is in flux all the time?
It does make it harder, that's for sure. But he's got great hairstyle, some strong shapes. Also, he's wearing neutral coloured clothes, which I think will set off the background colours quite well.
I'm just trying to get all the proportions right, the angles, the height, the width. This bit requires a lot of focus.
Rob Ware was challenged to put himself into a famous painting as part of his course at Heatherley's School of Fine Art. He chose Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring. He wore his grandmother's clip-on earring, and it took 4 days to paint.
Rob, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. It's starting to calm down. I'm just drawing in the puppet at the moment.
Yeah, so how do we feel about the puppet? From your submission, I know that you're someone who likes narrative.
Yeah, you'd be right. I really like the puppet. The colours and the puppet just adds a whole different dynamism that I wouldn't have otherwise expected.
And compositionally, what's the plan?
Compositionally, I'm going to have the puppet's head on her upper left.
Okay.
Yeah, just hovering there.
I suppose you could have been completely surreal and given the puppet Stella's face and done it that way.
I could have, yeah.
Another day.
Another day,
painting.
yeah.
To help inspire our artists, each sitter has brought along an object that means something to them.
So Zoo, talk us through the bracelet.
I mean, it's from my granddad. He gave it to my dad, and then my dad gave it to me. I'm named after my dad. So my name is Zahir Hassan. So you got the Z and H, and then the R in the middle is my granddad's initial for Ramiz. It also represents where I'm from. I'm from Sierra Leone. We're known for having the best diamonds in the world.
Right. So family important to you?
Yeah, family's very important. Family's everything. Things like this, you know, you can't replace things like this. If I had like a big bossed-down diamond chain, it wouldn't have any meaning to me. This means a lot to me.
I'm interested in the object you brought along.
So I'm always messing around with dots on a page. I used to write music for my daughter when she was very young, for her to go onto the stage. And is, I suppose, in homage to the fact I used to do that this piece was born, Bluebird. And she danced in the video, and she's danced at Royal Albert Hall with me when we did it with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. And so we've had so many wonderful experiences together in this piece of music.
What a lovely bonding thing to happen.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see one's children grow and just express themselves in those kind of ways.
Stella, that puppet is magnificent.
Yes, isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful. What's the story behind it?
Which was made by my daughter Sophie. She was making it when she and I went on a cruise, so our cabin was covered with bits of fabric and mess and strings and all sorts of things.
Was it a crass observation to say your daughter's a puppeteer pulling strings, you know, and your former job?
I mean, it is the kind of connection that people make, I suppose. The spy as the puppet master as well. So that's not quite the image I like to have of myself.
No, of course. But she's gone for a more sort of showbiz branch.
Absolutely, yes.
Sarah, you're really doing your homework with this drawing.
Yeah.
Have you set yourself a time limit?
Yes, I was meant to finish the drawing by the first hour, so there's a little bit of catching up to do.
Okay.
There's a few little nerves at the beginning.
Sarah Gregory was an art teacher before a milestone birthday prompted her to quit and focus on her own paintings. Her self-portrait in oils took 15 hours and shows her frustration during lockdown at being all dressed up but having nowhere to go.
You've gone very close in. The head really occupies nearly the full painting.
Yeah.
And actually, therefore, gives it this quite direct approach.
I was actually going to go even bigger with the face.
Yeah.
But he has such a fabulous jacket that I thought I must include some of it. So
Okay,
you'll have a little.
That
little
space
bit in,
is
yeah.
left for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ambition is to get the drawing done pretty soon, get the paint on.
Yeah. So,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Well, I hope you get there.
Thank you so much, though, B2.
So far, it feels to me like everything's been studied for speed. Even your brushes are as close to you as they could possibly be.
Yeah,
What's that
because
all
I've been
about?
practicing.
You did sort of time and motion studies, how long it takes
As well,
you to reach
yeah,
your
of
brush.
the position
Really?
and yeah.
Have you really been
I've
practicing?
been timing myself.
Have you been laying all this out, though, for the
Yeah.
best effect?
Yeah.
Fawzi Ibrahim studied at the College of Fine Arts in Baghdad before moving to the UK to become an engineer. His self-portrait in oils took 26 hours and references his favourite works of art.
So with your sitters, do you like to represent them as they are, or do you like to sort of glorify them?
Yeah, I mean, the actual pose I picked, I
Yes.
asked him to fold his arms like that.
But are you looking to improve the character in your painting?
As well, yeah.
Do you see some good features here that you're going to play up?
Everything is brilliant.
He's pretty great, isn't he?
He's really good sitter.
He's looking very handsome.
He's a handsome guy. He's a good-looking guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Our 9 artists are nearly 2 hours into today's challenge.
Samantha, when you do hyperrealism, what is it about that you like?
There's a level of patience and discipline required. I enjoy it. It's like, you know, when you've got a spot and you squeeze it, and it's like, yes. That's
I'm really aware of time. I usually work light to dark, but what I was doing was working dark to light because more of his face is darker, but I think I'm going to go back to working light to dark. I'm not in a great place at the moment.
It's too late, baby. It's going to be fine. Just won't be finished, I don't suppose. Or maybe someone will come and paint it for me while I'm in the loo.
For the last 2 hours, our artists have been capturing musician Alexis French, former MI5 spy and author Dame Stella Rimington, and rapper Big Zoo.
You're just so relaxed and worried.
Honestly, if you knew what's going on up here...
You're a champion.
Cheers.
I'm a very emotional person, so I'm going to react off my emotion.
Hope you burst into tears.
I can fake cry.
Please.
Good at that.
That'd be really good.
I can cry like on tap.
Halfway through. I'm really enjoying today. We've got 3 great sitters. Stella seems to be a bit self-contained.
She's quite self-contained, but she's got the most beautiful tilt of the head. And you just have a really strong sense of this powerful woman.
Now, Binny looks like she's creating a portrait that will look terrific in about 3 weeks.
Exactly. It's absolutely enormous. But she's obviously responded directly to the pose of her sitter.
I think what Binny's done is fantastic. I think she could stop at any moment. You could hang it on the wall.
Looking at Samantha's self-portrait, she's probably quite pleased that her sitter has short hair.
I think what Samantha's doing is amazing. It's so fine, but it feels robust. I really hope she gets to do some hair.
We're getting 2 heads from Rob.
I like the narrative Rob's finding there. I think it's a very clever way of talking about Stella's past. I just hope we get a bit more speed.
Big Zoo, exuding personality, terrific sitter.
I was a bit worried. I can't paint anyone unless they're nailed still for 15 hours. But none of them have found it difficult, and he's really given them an insight into his character.
Yeah, I love Rosie's composition. She's done so well with that sideways glance. And there's a kind of a freshness in the way that she paints. Like, it's just messy enough. It's interesting.
I think Fauzi wins the most organised painter of the day.
Fauzi's compressing a huge personality into a tiny space, and it really works rather well. And he's got a fantastic likeness already.
Now, if you paint from life like William, you've pulled the short straw, have you, with a sitter like that?
The tonalities that he uses, I think, are just beautiful. He's really enjoying the light and the way it's falling on his top, and it's nice to see him lift that light rather than the dark shadows that we saw in his self-portrait.
Alexis seems to me a dream sitter. He's disciplined, but engaged.
And I think they're all responding fantastically to that. He's also isn't moving an inch.
Harriet seems to be panicking, having trouble making decisions.
Yeah, I think Harriet's way of working is problematic. When you work with collage, it's almost like you have to produce a jigsaw all in one go. And I think that level of planning is difficult. So I think it's getting a bit tense.
So, Sarah, running late?
She's given us an enormous piece that's covering practically the whole canvas, which is going to be head, and she's going to have to somehow just speed up.
As a contrast to the 2 other artists in her section, Nina seems to be in control.
Yeah, I mean, I think as beautiful as it is, his face isn't there yet. I know it's Alexis, sort of, but if I'm really honest, we're not even really begun the portrait yet. So actually, I think everybody in that section needs to get their skates on.
They're intensively painting right now. It's like I'm in an exam hall and you can't talk to the invigilator. I'm surrounded by people who are doing their work, and, you know, like when I'm in the studio making music, it's the same vibe. Everyone needs to be quiet and let me focus.
Not only does this prompt questions about what can you see, but it also prompts questions of how do I want to radiate the essence of who I am, and indeed, who am I? So it goes both ways, this whole thing.
Stella, you were played by Judi Dench in the Bond movies.
Yes, I believe that's true. Not long after I became DG at MI5, M became a woman, played by Judi Dench, and in her first film, she was wearing the kind of clothes I wore in those days, a sort of 3/4 length jacket with no collar. They couldn't have chosen anybody better because she's absolutely superb. I was extremely flattered.
With a 4-hour time limit, some excel. But for others, the pressure is on.
So, Harriet, panic stations.
Yeah, I was in a real state. I wasn't able to make decisions, so I did his face 4 times.
And is it doing what you want it to do?
Yes, beginning to.
So can I ask, why haven't you stuck it down?
Because I'm still moving bits around.
But we're getting to that stage in the competition where you need to put it down.
Yeah, you're right.
Why don't you just get his head down?
Yeah, but if I'm going to stick his head down, I've got to get the other bits behind it, because I've got to do that swirl as well.
Sarah, is it all going your way?
I've completed the eyes, roughly, and the nose, and I'm on the mouth at the moment, because I think the most important features of the face, and if I can get those right, then hopefully everything else will fall into place.
I'm getting the impression that you're at peace with what you're doing.
I'm feeling a little calmer, but for the rest of the competition, it would be great if time just kind of stopped for a while.
Binny, that's an ambitious size.
I thought it was a bit bonkers to do that, wasn't it? Suddenly I just saw this blue, and I just thought, oh, there really is a painting there, which is about the colour and about the subject, you know, so I couldn't resist doing it. I thought if I don't finish it, so what?
So you're not that competitive in that way?
I tried to make myself competitive, but then I forgot to be competitive when I did that.
It's not how competitive works, you see.
No.
You have to remind yourself to be competitive. You're not competitive.
Nina, we're loving the composition, but we're wanting to see more in the face actually emerge.
I'm hoping that bringing highlights on that frame of glasses, these final touches will make the face.
Really? You think the glasses will pull it all together? Is that what you're hoping? OK.
I'm up against it. One thing that I would change if I had more time would be to extend the canvas slightly, which I could easily do if I had another 4 hours with him.
I'm just doing a little bit of this beautiful ballerina puppet. Just wanted to make sure that she was in there a little bit. It's hard. I feel like I'm not done, but I'm going to have to be done.
Our artists are in the final stages of the competition.
Rob, we're getting close to the end.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't know. I don't know what to think at the moment.
Have you lost the plot?
Almost, yeah.
What can I do to give you a push?
Tell me it'll be all right and leave.
It's gonna be all right. I'm off.
I've never painted so fast in all my life.
Heart palpitations and such. I suppose it's how it's supposed to feel.
It's not sticking to the canvas. I need to put something really big and heavy on it and leave it for about an hour. I could put that board on it. OK, let me just stand on it.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
I need more time. I'm struggling a bit, yeah.
It is what it is, right? It's a shame that one can't just go on and finish it. But maybe it's good to stop.
Artists, it's time to let the paint dry.
Please put down your equipment and step away from your portraits.
Yes! I'm free!
With the challenge over, it's now time for our sitters to choose just one portrait to take home.
Alexis, you survived.
I have.
You were such a dedicated sitter.
Well, thank you. I tried to be. I just really wanted to be as helpful as I could possibly be.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, were you aware of some of the drama going on?
I was aware of certain energies coming from certain parts of the room. Can I put it like that?
Right then. Artists, can I please ask you to turn your easels?
Oh, my goodness me. Goodness, look at that. Extraordinary work, all of you.
Should we take a closer
look? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Expressive, mournful even. There is a sadness about it, and I wasn't expecting to see that in myself. It's extraordinarily beautiful. Wow, that is quite something. What really impresses me is just the coloration.
Quite heroic.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
What I love about this is quite stylized. And just that swathe to represent the imagery behind me. You've done that so skillfully. I love it.
There we have it. 3 portraits. Only one can go home with you.
I think it comes down to which one am I most likely to get the least flack from my 21 and 18-year-old. I don't know the answer to that, to be totally honest with you, because they are absolutely merciless. So I think I'm going to go for Harriet's collage.
Artists, turn round your easels.
Wow. Goodness me. This is going to be really difficult because they're so different, aren't they? Gosh. Hello, Binny. I've been watching you working away.
I've been
Goodness
watching you,
me.
darling.
I'm sure you have. I look very pensive, thoughtful, and concentrated, and I think that's what you've caught. Oh, I think that's a real likeness. There's no doubt about it. Oh. And I think the eyes are wonderful because they're shiny somehow. No, I think that's very clever. I love the colour, and I like the way that you've just done the heads. I like the relationship that you've created between the two. I think that's really interesting.
Right, well, now is the moment.
Oh, my gosh. How long have I got to decide?
Well, give it a day or two.
I think I'm going to go with Rob, actually.
Right, artists, please turn your easels.
Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Oh, my God, this is so sick. It's definitely me. I'm buff from all angles. I just like the way that the different shades and tones, like, make up my face. You can see the inner depths of Zoo.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, it's a little bit cheeky. It's sick, like, it feels like this is me about to say a really bad joke.
But before you do, let's move on.
Okay. This one's different. Like, the hair is super sick. You know, my belly's looking proportionate.
Big eats. Right, come with me.
Oh, God.
I'm going to ask you to choose.
I love you all. We've built a connection today, guys. Okay, I think I want to go this one in the middle, 4Z. Thank you. Good man.
As our artists enjoy a much-deserved rest, our judges' hard work begins.
I'm amazed that Rob has got so little paint down, but he constructs these shapes in such an interesting fashion that I love the way it looks.
I think Samantha's done incredibly well. She was produced a very sensitive, very exact portrait. As for the puppet, I'm not sure it actually is needed. There's enough going on in the face.
It's great Binny's given us something large. She made lots of good decisions early on in the day. She's fun to watch, but more importantly, I really believe that that woman ran MI5.
I would assume that Harriet could do something a bit bigger than this, but I think I underestimated quite how reductive her style is. I do love the colour palette. I think the choice of that kind of inky magenta is gorgeous.
Sarah caught a really lovely look on Alex's face. It's a very tender portrait. But having said that, there's actually very little paint there, so it does feel a bit thin.
I think Nina's really clever with composition, actually. She left the face until the end. She said, I'll just put some tiny touches where the glasses are. And actually, it's very nearly there.
I feel like we had a very happy marriage between Big Zoo and Rosie. You know, he was fun, he was energetic, and Rosie was a genius with this glance that she got. I wonder if the likeness is completely perfect, but it's a great, fun little painting.
Fuzzy really recognises the boss man, the dude in the picture, and also the mass of the man. And I thought it was very clever. It certainly gets the man across.
William's given us so many colours. There's purple, light blues in the sleeves, that really sharp, acidic yellow on the shoulders. I like the idea of the composition. Some things happened, truncated the form, and he's lost that mass.
Artists, you've done some really impressive work today.
After looking at your portraits, the judges have chosen a short list of 3. The first artist is Nina Ruminska.
The second artist is Binny Matthews.
The third artist to be shortlisted is Rosie Phillips.
I've had the best day ever. I've loved meeting everybody. I've loved being part of this. I will remember it forever.
To pick today's winner, the judges assess the artist's submissions as well as today's portraits to highlight what they can achieve with more time and less pressure.
Judges, you've taken a great time to come to this decision. So has it been particularly difficult?
It was a really strong day of painting. We had some artists that had beautiful work quite quickly in the day, and we had other artists that went far too slow, so we've had that day of jeopardy.
So we start with Rosie, who gave us a sort of cheeky, unguarded moment in her self-portrait, and a bit of side-eye from Big Zoo today.
You get a very similar energy, in a sense, you know, a young person full of confidence. She had a gift of a sitter. She treated the paint quite differently today. You know, there was a shorthand in order to be able to execute a full portrait. I think sometimes it looks a little bit on the messy side, but where it does work, it's really exceptional.
Now, Binny, consistent in her view of the human condition.
Binny's self-portrait is a very well-constructed piece of painting. In her painting today with Stella, I think there's a very well-constructed space. Here's an artist who knows how to look at a sitter and arrange something around them. And it's done with such ease.
Because her portrait could be fussy, could be overwhelming, but it's not somehow. And finally, over to Nina's melancholy corner.
I think Nina's created a really poetic portrait of Alexis today. I mean, he's barely there. I mean, we have to be honest and say that it's not a perfect likeness, but it's a really interesting painting.
Given the enormous richness and different textures of her self-portrait, Alexis is rather spare.
I think what we're missing slightly are those highlights of colour that we saw in the lovely self-portrait. This portrait of Alexis, you know, he was a very self-contained man, and I think she's picked up on that to a degree in the colour choices that she's made, and I love her painting.
So, three different, very strong artists.
Yeah.
But we can't put three through, only one.
Rosie, Binny, Nina, you've each done enormously well to make it to the shortlist, however.
Only one of you gets to go through to the semi-final, and the artists that the judges have selected created a great portrait with a compelling narrative. That artist is Binny Matthews.
Oh, thank you. I feel shocked and I'm embarrassed because all these other fantastic painters have not got through to the semi-final, and I wish they could all get through.
I cannot believe Binny got that portrait done in the 4 hours, because it's massive and it's just phenomenal.
Binny's portrait, it's just amazing. And also the lovely, lovely hand gestures. I think it's beautiful.
Binny set herself an enormous challenge. She wanted to give us a sensitive, interesting portrait of Stella with a good narrative. And she did it in such a beautiful, almost effortless way. And if she can achieve this today, then imagine what Binny can do on the semi-final.
Oh, you did a good painting, darling. I'm so surprised. I just quite haven't got used to the idea yet, but I'm really looking forward to coming back for the semi-finals. It's a great way of spending a day.